talks about a day, a moment of time, in the blink of an eye. There'll be an immediate reckoning for everyone on this planet. For those who have already made the choice to embrace God's free gift of salvation, they will be ready. According to the Bible, those that are ready will instantly leave this earth upon the second coming of Christ. Immediately, they will be drawn up to Him in order to enter heaven. The Bible calls this event the rapture. Consequently, those who are left behind will become instantly and painfully aware that the last train has left the station, so to speak. That opportunity will have passed, never to be offered again. And those left behind will also discover that when all goodness has been removed and swept away, unrestrained lawlessness, destructive selfishness will create a living hell on earth, a foreshadow of the eternal choice they have already made by ignoring and thereby rejecting so great a salvation. The Bible talks about that day. It will be when man's insistence on pushing God out of their lives will suddenly be granted and allowed to come to a conclusion and fulfillment. For a brief moment of time, He will allow a God-rejecting mankind to have exactly what they've been insisting upon: existence without any of God's laws, His presence, or attributes on earth. In that day, my will be done will be the ruler. It will be a short age when me goes to war against mine and every facet of humanity. You know, lately, we've all been given a taste of what unrestrained lawlessness looks like. To inaugurate that day, all that resist hell on earth will be instantly removed as time will be up. The door of grace will suddenly be shut, which is when and why He will take out His people at that time. When will it happen? Well, the Bible speaks of specific events, clear signs that will occur right before the rapture takes place. Beyond all mathematical probability, many of these last day predicted events have already happened, and some we're seeing them happen right before our eyes. All of this literally means that we are all standing right at the door, right before it will be shut, never to be opened again. Well, so where does all of this leave you? Well, to begin with, I believe that in a very real sense, this is a personal message to you. From the same God that said He desires that no man should perish, that also includes you as well. It's from the same God who paid the highest price ever paid just to ensure that you can have eternal assurance of salvation. You see, He did all of this for you simply because He loves you that much. Why have I sent you something like this? Is it to freak you out, to manipulate you with fear? Hardly. It's just the opposite. You see, it would be cruel if there were not an answer, but there is. And since there is an answer, how selfish would I be if I just kept this truth to myself just for fear of rejection? The reason why I went through all of this trouble putting this together for you is simply because I deeply care about you. Enough to remind you that even with the rapture right upon us, the door of hope is still open for you. There is yet a small window of time, but please also keep in mind that not choosing is still a choice. But for now, you do still have a choice. Really, the bottom line for me is the fact that I can't stand the thought of you not realizing the hope of salvation. I'm asking that you please consider, once and for all, making your peace with God's offer. You can be assured of your eternal salvation. A sincere prayer accepting God's solution through Jesus is all it takes. If you feel that you could use some help with that, well, I'm here for you. Perhaps you're one of those that feel like that you have messed things up so badly in your life that there is no reason to hope that you can come back. Along those lines, perhaps, you also, in your anger and pain, got bitter and confused to the point that you chose to walk away from it all. Consequently, you're left feeling that it is now too late for you. Well, I speak from experience when I say that nothing you have done is greater than God's love and forgiveness for you. Just come back home. He's waiting with open arms. Well, the time of the rapture is right upon us. Figuratively speaking, the last train is already entering the station. But even now, God's kindness would tell you that there can still be a seat on this train that can have your name written upon it. He paid the highest price just so you can have the choice to receive this gift. But the choice is truly yours. What will you do with it? What will you choose? Well, time will truly tell. But with all my heart, I pray that it is life, that it is salvation eternal.